Hello everyone, Jake here and welcome back to another episode of Wolfsburg Warriors. Today we've got a transfer window, a few months of football to catch up on, as well as two pretty big games in terms of what we're trying to achieve this season as we get closer and closer to that eventual Champions League title. Hi everybody, Jake here, welcome back to the channel, to the video and to Wolfsburg Warriors. Today we're going to be facing off against Augsburg in the league and then also a cup match, a German cup match against Paderborn. This is fairly unimportant compared to some of the other games that I show, but I just wanted to get an extra episode out and also show you the transfer business that we've done in the January transfer window before we get into the meat and grit of the Champions League, into the later stages of what could potentially be our last season of the series. So before we get into all that, I'd like to ask you guys, if you could be really nice, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could smash the like button. It really does help in the performance of the videos. Comment down below what you think of my transfer business and where we should improve next. A lot of you guys have mentioned the goalkeeper position. We've looked into that and I'll talk about that in a second. And finally, if you haven't already, then subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. I'd greatly appreciate it. Oh, and one final thing, you can also find a Discord linked in the description if you want to chat about Football Manager, share your save, ask your questions. Great community over there of guys. I'm not really too heavily involved in it anymore, but the people over there are so good at just creating what really is just a wonderful community now, really. So I'm very appreciative of everyone that is active in that Discord, and to anyone who helps out in there when people ask their questions. It really does mean a lot to see it thriving, because I remember when it was originally on like 10 people at the start, so it's great to see with plus 200 people now how well it's doing. Anyway, speaking of how well it's doing, that was a great segue actually for how well we are doing in our league season so far. So you last saw us play Shakhtar in the Champions League. We then beat Frankfurt 3-1, and my camera's in the way, and I haven't actually checked this before, but we went unbeaten in December, winning every game. We then won every game in January by the looks of it, and now we're in February, so we've won every single game since then. And how many goals have we even conceded? Not many at all. We've been blowing teams off the park, even beating Dortmund in our Bundesliga away match, which meant that really any challenge for our title dominance this year is gone. I think the title is pretty much wrapped up, and a win here today will get us closer towards that. We did beat Juve to top the Champions League group as I predicted, and it has led to a match against Manchester City in the first knockout round, which is a bit of a harsh one to be honest, because there's a lot of teams I would have preferred: Ajax, Benfica, Porto, Milan, Valencia, Celtic, Inter, maybe even Barca, but Manchester City was not the team that I wanted to face. Somehow they finished second in their group. They are a past winner. In this simulated world, all the past winners have been from Manchester, so it would be a big step if we can knock them out. On top of that, one of Barca or Man U will be leaving the competition in this round, so if we make it into the quarterfinals, we've got a very good chance of going pretty far and hopefully winning our first Champions League. But speaking of winning, I did mention we've been very good in the league. It's led to it looking like this after everyone has played 20 games pretty much. We're way ahead of anyone in 4th place, 3rd place we're smashing by 15 points, and 2nd place by 11 points. We are on top this year, playing so well. All of our players are firing, but we have made some transfer business. Just a few quick notes. Roberto Piccoli currently has the most per 90 goals in the league. He's been really good for us and almost left on a £25 million deal in the January transfer window, but I just kept rejecting it. I think he's worth far more than that, and what he does for this club is pretty unheard of. He is very good when we give him the opportunity, particularly this season. He is shining like a light. Before we look at the transfers though, youth intake, that kind of came in. It hasn't fully came in yet, but the candidates are through, and it is apparently going to be a golden generation for the club yet again. It's looking like we're going to get a very good winger and a central midfielder, 2 top central midfielders to be precise, which is good because I'm happy to have central midfielders, but the wingers, if he's a very good one, it'll be a bit annoying if I can't convert him to a different position, because we do not use wingers in this system at all. And we've also got one good fullback coming through, but he's only a B rating, so I don't expect too much from him. But we did sign a fullback actually in the summer. Now, I will mention before, a lot of you guys mentioned signing a goalkeeper. I kind of agree with you now. I was in the market for one. I just couldn't find any that were worth the investment to replace Castiles in goal that were actually that much better than Castiles, because you might not give him too much credit, but Castiles as a goalkeeper in Football Manager, whether it says 2.5 star now comparing to other players at the club or not, that doesn't really bother me. If we're looking purely at his attributes, this guy is a perfect goalkeeper, and he's been proving that over the years. He's been super consistent and very, very good for us. And when I was looking at players like Onana or Kakir, is it? Sakir? I don't know how you pronounce it, the Turkish goalkeeper. He's moved to Newcastle in this save. Both of them were only just edging Castiles out in terms of rating, and it really just wasn't worth it. I'm going to wait for a real star to come along, and until then, we'll keep the goalkeepers that we've been using, who have been performing so well for us. They really have. You might look at them both and think they're not great, but they have been very good for us. So we left that, but we did sell our fullback in Federico De Marco. How do we do it? Let's sort by date. Here we go. De Marco did leave for Monaco. This man wanted to be like the first team starter, which he wasn't going to get because the World Team of the Year came out. Baku was at right back and Luca Netz was at left back. So there was no way De Marco is going to be our first choice left back over him. So we have sold him to Monaco. I was not letting him ruin our team dynamics. We signed him for £4.8 million, and 50 appearances later, pretty much, we sell him for £28 million to the French division, and he is injured straight away. So it's kind of worked out in our favour. Also, because of the influx in very good players we've got in our academy, Adam Holzheck, who has been fine for us since signing, but really started to fall off the last season or two, and we've let him go. And that's because we had a few players in the dev centre who were showing as at his level already, or at least getting very close to his level, and they're, 19-year-old academy products with plenty more potential than what Holzheck has in this save. I think we've got a bad version of him, but even that, he wasn't too bad. But the fact that he's gone to play for Sochi in Russia really goes to show maybe he wasn't as high a quality of a player as we thought. We did make a profit. He only made 24 league appearances for us and scored 9 goals in that time. Never really let us down too much, but you could really see he was not a great finisher. So he's left for club. And the player that we bought in, we didn't bring in anyone to replace Holzheck because, as I mentioned, we've got some youth players that can come through. But to replace De Marco, we spent our money on this guy. He's called Victor. He is a regen player from Elche who has plenty of potential. He's someone that our scouts were looking at for a couple of years, to the point where on every single scout report they had him as not just 4 to 5 star potential, it was 4.5 star to 5 star. When the Wonderkid list, the top 50 Wonderkids, comes out every year in your Football Manager save, this guy is always in the top 10. He's been playing for Elche in La Liga for quite a while, 2 full seasons with them in the Spanish First Division, and he's only 18 years of age at this point. He's a Spanish under-21 international. He cost us a pretty pricey sum, to be honest, of £43 million, but for a player who is happy to be a backup player for now with good determination and that kind of thing, he's going to really develop into a star left back for us going forward, and it gives us 2 very good options in that position. We haven't had too much chance to use him yet because of a few injury problems that he's had, but hopefully you'll get to see him today. And I think that's everything we need to cover before we get into the first of our 2 games. So let's just quickly look at the team we're going to be fielding today for what is the harder match of the 2, I suppose. Playing Augsburg at home is going to be harder than Paderborn in the Cup, but you never know. For this match, we're going with Mokoko, Piccoli, Wirtz, Bellingham, Chouameni, Nico, Netz, Gavardiol, Lacroix, Baku, and Castiles. You might notice that, where is he? Frank Kessie isn't playing. He's been gone for a while on international duty, I think for the African Cup, and he's only just got back, so we're giving him a chance to rest and giving everyone else some game time. Nico has been performing very, very good recently, to the point where he had a £90 million offer from Spurs, and they're still interested, I believe. I'm assuming it's them. It is still Tottenham. But yeah, they offered £90 million. I could have accepted it, but in a season where we already had £90 million in the budget that we weren't spending, and I'm very happy with him in that position. He's doing a great job. He's got potential still. It's a season where we're trying to win a Champions League. I'm not selling some of our better players in the January transfer window. So I think that's everything we need to cover. Thank you guys for all the support on the series so far. It seems that we're just going up and up in terms of views. Like, everyone's still on board, and that's really nice to see. My aim by the end of this series, at the start of it, was to have at least 100 views on every single video. Currently, we're probably on averaging over 700, 800 views per video. So that's very, very good and way better than what I expected. So I really do thank you guys for that. But let's get into this match and to get you seeing some football, because I figured today we'd show you 2 games. Because if anyone does remember, it was at the Shakhtar game that we looked at in the last episode. Was there 3 highlights and they were all in the 90th minute plus? So it was relatively a boring game, I believe, but at least we made it through, and here we are now playing against, I mean, it's meant to say Augsburg, but it really is covered up in the white up there. You can't really see it. But we're underway, and we do have a highlight after 8 minutes with Lacroix bursting forward, plays it to Piccoli, who finds Baku, and Baku really, from that closer range, could have done better, but it's a good start from us, and I think this is probably going to be a bit of a walkthrough from us through this Augsburg team. I think we're going to be far better than them. Here is Nico at the back, playing it to Nets, who, yeah, like I mentioned, the World Team of the Year came out. We had 2 players in the starting 11. That was Baku and Nets, and then Gvardiol was actually on the bench of the World Team of the Year. Adeyemi wasn't in there, which is surprising. Obviously, he has left the club now, but I thought after his performance, he would be guaranteed to be in it. And he has been good since joining Man City for 210 million or whatever it was. We're still making money from him, by the way, on instalments, but he wasn't in that World Team of the Year. There was plenty of good players in there, though, so nice to see our left back and right back were the stars of the show in those positions equally. And so far, it's been very, very dominant from us in the first 20 minutes. Possession, chances, highlights, all going our way. We just need to find that opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net. One thing I am noticing is for some reason, Tchouaméni and Bellingham are on the opposite sides to what I'd want them to do. So let's just quickly switch that back over. And maybe we'll see the results of that. If we do, I am a tactical genius. I don't know why it's on the wrong sides from that quick pick. But I think we want Bellingham going forward. He's got a lot more of an attacking threat than Tchouaméni has, and Tchouaméni has got the work rate to be that perfect box-to-box midfielder, and he can defend just as well as he can attack. But here we go. I think this is going to be our first goal, to be honest. The highlight is just about long enough for it to be a goal. Here's Luka Nets. He plays it in the box towards Piccoli, who's been brought down. We win a penalty, and that is a great start for us. I say great start. We're 30 minutes in, but assuming we score this, and I imagine it will be a Moukoko penalty, you know, we're putting ourselves in a very good position. I don't see Augsburg scoring any more than one, even if they do get one. So I think if we can score here, we'll be doing great. Piccoli's won it, and he is actually going to take it. Moukoko's taken our last few. Here is Piccoli, and he keeps his goal-to-game ratio going. He's got the best in the league, as I mentioned, and that is only going to make it better. He doesn't play all that often for us, Piccoli, but the more he plays this season, the more I'm thinking if we made a Champions League final, maybe he starts up front instead of Sesko in that target forward role. Not saying he's a better player, but in that role, in this system, Piccoli is super effective. You even saw the first chance where Baku hit the post. That was from Piccoli holding the ball up, rolling the defender, and putting Baku through. He is key to everything we do. Here he is now as well. He's holding it up. He puts the cross into Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni with a header, saved onto the crossbar by Swallow, or however you pronounce that name. And yeah, that's another good chance for us. But overall, this is pure domination from our Wolfsburg side, and it's exactly what you would expect at this stage of the save. We need to trample teams like this. Here's something for anyone who was watching us back when we had the FM21 series with Lille. Our star, our amazing player Aaron Martin is here with Augsburg in this save, and he's only barely even a 2.5-star player according to our scouts. Moved here for £2.4 million. He hasn't gone on, at least in this save, to be as good as he was in the FM21 save, where he was arguably the best player in the world for a couple of years. He was really nuts for us when we played with Lille. Like, we signed him in the first season, and anyone who watched will be able to tell you just how good Aaron Martin was. He single-handedly took our side from decent team in Ligue 1 to way better than PSG. Just him on his own was outperforming Neymar's and Mbappe. So just a bit about Aaron Martin, as well. I've just noticed that he was playing for this Augsburg side, but so far so good in this match. We're 60 minutes in, and we're getting towards a stage where we can probably start resting some people. Someone who we haven't seen too much today of this game is Moukoko. He's been good for us. He's just hit his 20th goal recently, and he was out for about a month of the season. So to score that many goals whilst being out for a fifth of what we've done so far is pretty impressive. He's not I don't think he's Adeyemi's level yet in terms of his goal scoring, but he is still settling in, and he obviously has the potential to be far better than Adeyemi was for us. Here's Nico with a long shot, and he forces the goalkeeper into a save. I would like that second goal for security, but yeah, Moukoko, in the games I tend to do, he isn't too involved other than when it comes to the final bit. Like, he's always there to tap the ball in or running past the defender to score, which realistically was all Adeyemi did anyway. So we've got to give him some credit there, Moukoko. But let's have a look at some subs that we could potentially make. Baku is apparently tiring. Who have we got on the bench? I know Resler is injured, so let's bring on the 16-year-old Callum Hallard. We're also going to bring on Sepulveda, and then we'll bring on Marcel Lutz, who I will show you after this game, actually. So he's the player that currently in my head is the guy that is the Holzheck replacement going forward now that we've sold Holzheck. Actually, I can just show you him here, can't I? Marcel Lutz, here you go. We signed him from Duisburg or something right at the start of the save for £750,000. He's developing nicely, very good physically, decent mentally, decent technically too. It's just his finishing that lets him down, but he has been scoring a lot for the Wolfsburg second team. So if he can score there, he can score here. He just needs a chance. This is only his second appearance off the bench, and so far We seen him hit the crossbar in the last game, I believe, but he didn't get a final goal. Now, this game has finished. I mean, it's almost finished. Maybe we are going to get one final highlight. I was going to say we only won 1-0. Slightly disappointing, but if we can make it 2 here, it will look much better, particularly if it's a goal for Lutz, and that was a poor finish. That's 9 finishing for you. I've been training his finishing since he joined the club because it started on a rating of 7, and now it's on like 9 or 10. And the assistant manager keeps telling me, oh, we can take him off finishing training. He's got too good finishing now. No, he has not. He is still nowhere near good enough up front in terms of his goal scoring ability. But I believe in him long term, and I think Holzheck wasn't the best finisher anyway, so it doesn't mind me too much that Marcel Lutz isn't the world's best finisher. But there we go. It might not be pretty, but we got the win there to beat Augsburg, and now we are ready to play Paderborn in the cup, where we can pretty much rotate fully and play the players that wouldn't have got an opportunity there. So you're going to get to see everyone today. It's a real dream for you, that I'm sure, to see every player in the squad playing. So let's quickly get over to that match and pick the team. Okay, here we are. It's game day against Paderborn. They are currently 5th in the 2nd division of Germany, and Daniel Farke, the ex-Norwich manager, is he? He is their manager, so bit of a fall from grace there. No offence to Paderborn, but I think Premier League to Paderborn probably isn't the career path he would have liked. But let's pick our team today to face off against them if we sort it like this. Goalkeeper will use our rotated Kenneth Wynn option. Baku's going to come out and Callum Hallard is going to come in. He is the future of our box-to-box role, but he can also play right back, so that is where he's going to go today. Centre backs, I think we'll have Devive and we will have Garcia McNulty. Left back will be the first start for our new £40 million man Victor. Defensive midfield, who have we got? Who's an option? Astor of Ranks, he can play. Sure, why not? I'm literally just doing a full rotation side here. If it's actually going to let me put Ranks in. There we go. Sepulveda will be there. Kessie can come out for Kozlowski. Kozlowski there, and actually we'll bring Kessie in, seeing as he's only just came back from international duty. He shouldn't be too tired from this match. And then we'll start Sesko there with Marcel Lutz starting in the other position. I think that's pretty much everything I want to do. I'll bring Ambros onto the bench in case we can give him a couple of minutes, but I think we're ready to go in the match. So there's a team. Let's get right into it. It's a bit of a makeshift squad, but hopefully still good enough to get the win. Now that I have selected the team, I'm slightly worried that maybe I haven't put enough quality in there, but I still think everyone here would be a star player at Paderborn, so I think that's the best way to think about it. Realistically, it might not be our best squad. It might not even be our best B squad, but it is still a team that should get the job done here, and with some very good quality players on, particularly the likes of Kessie, I'm hoping will carry us to victory, and Sesko as well, Kozlowski. These are players that we love, so I'm hoping they'll really perform today, and we'll also get to view some of the other players, such as Marcel Lutz, who gets his first goal. It says 10th, they're all for Wolfsburg too. He gets his first goal for the Wolfsburg senior squad after 20 seconds into his first start. It looked like Kessie was pushed over, and it left Lutz in plenty of space there, and nice enough to see that we've got a goal straight away. Yeah, it was a foul, but the ref played advantage. Great finish from Lutz, right into the corner. That's what we want to see. And we sold Holzheck. We'd given him a chance before. I mean, realistically, we put a lot of faith in him because we'd sold Holzheck before really giving Lutz a chance. But I thought he was ready, and he's proved it to us there already with scoring probably equaling Holzheck's goal total for the season. I'm not too sure, but he must be in and around it. We're starting very well though here. After 4 minutes, it's another chance. Callum Hallard, he's not the best wing back in this position. The reason I haven't trained him for that position is the fact that he supposedly can't cross, although that was a good ball in, but he's supposedly not too good at the going forward from the fullback spot kind of stuff. So I haven't used him there too often, and instead I've opted to use him in the box-to-box role when we've used him, which I think will be his future position, but it's not too bad if he can fill in every now and then. Obviously, the realistic backup right back that we've been using for Baku is Resler, who, if you haven't seen him in past episodes, should I say, he is a top draw wonderkid, probably one of the best in the world in this save, and will go on to dominate right back for years for us. But he is out injured, and he's been out injured a few times this year, which I'm hoping won't be a problem long term, but you never know. It's a good ball from Hallard there though, finds Kessie, Sesko's in, and Sesko has won us the game already after 15 minutes. The game is over. Now it's just going to be a bit of fun. Who can get the goals? Who can we see add to their goal tallies? Hopefully we can see something from Sepulveda, who just goes to every match that I play him in that central attacking midfield role. Because Florian Wirtz is brilliant, but when we play Sepulveda, not so much. He really hasn't found his feet since joining yet, and I keep expecting, okay, maybe this game will be the one where we get to see him, but it hasn't happened yet. Maybe now will be the chance that he gets it after I've slated him on camera. But Hallard looks very good today in that midfield, in that fullback role, should I say. It's a poor ball in though, and we have given the ball back to Paderborn. I've overconfidently said that we were going to win from here on out, but I really don't expect much from them going forward. And I actually think this will be a highlight for us at some point. I think we'll win the. I think we'll win the. I couldn't say that. I think we'll win the ball back and score. Maybe not. They've scored. You can't predict Football Manager, can you? Long ball over the top, has played this guy through. He scored against Kenneth Wynn. It was a 1v1 situation, and Paderborn are suddenly back in the game out of nothing. It was a long ball over. Realistically, I thought whoever that is, Garcia McNulty or Daviv, could have had that. It's a good finish in the end. I was so confident that was going to be a press and we win the ball back and it turns into a goal from us. But it wasn't to be. I'm not panicking though. Possession is in our favour, just about. Shots and shots on target and XG is all in our favour. So overall, no complaints. We'll still win this match by a few goals, I'm sure. We just got to hope that Paderborn, or at least the score doesn't stay like this, at which point we'll get a bit worried that Paderborn might be able to get back in the game. And it looks like it was Daviv that made the mistake earlier. He's not the slowest, but he's not the quickest either. I just thought he could have kept up with a Paderborn striker running through, but it wasn't to be. Here's Lutzo. He finds Victor. Our first chance really seeing him since joining the club. Again, he's not one that's really attuned to the attacking side of the game. He's not the best crosser. He's not that great going forward, but he's very solid defensively. What a goal that is. Kozlowski to Sesko. Sesko chips a goalkeeper, and he's a brilliant performance from him so far for 2 goals in this game. But yeah, Victor isn't the world's best attacking fullback, as you would have seen when we showed him off earlier, but he's got everything he needs for me to know that he could be in the future, and everything else is at a very good level anyway. So he's building up from a great base set of attributes, which is what I love in Wonderkids, when they're already good enough to play and they're only going to get better and become stars going forward. If we were to leave Wolfsburg right now and just sack ourselves, resign, this club would still do very well, because every player we've got is at least going to fetch them loads of money from a big sale, or they're going to be very good for the first team, because they've all got a lot of potential. That's been a great first half, and we'll just go straight into the second and hopefully keep scoring, get a few more goals for players that might be a bit shorter on confidence than some of the others. We're still looking at you, Sepulveda, who in every single highlight is still not there. He's just ghosting it, but here he is on a free kick. Will this be his first goal for the club? It's a big build-up. He hits over the wall, hits the crossbar. It was a good free kick, to be honest. He went for an opposite corner than what I expected, but it did go just over. So no goal from him just yet. It might even be his first goal when he scores. I don't know. He might have scored one. Here's Kozlowski though into Sesko, who almost completes his hat-trick. It's just off the bar. A lot of pressure is being put on that Paderborn net now, and that's what we want. Another goal, and we can just go home and just give everyone a game who needs a game, and we're happy. Although, you'd probably say we're at that stage already. We've been very good. But Paderborn do have a highlight. Every time I say I think this game's over, Paderborn decide to do something. Unless this is one where we do actually win it back. But you can never predict Football Manager. So ball forward, Garcia McNulty wins it. He only heads it to the Paderborn player. They're playing it through us quite nicely. And again, that guy's in past Daviv. And this time Daviv sticks a foot out. And that is very, very good defending. You were kind of predicting already that was a goal. And then his foot came out of nowhere to stop the shot. So you've got to give him credit for that. Who can we bring on? Let's bring on Ambros. And where is Arnold? Is Maxi Arnold on the bench? You see, Maxi Arnold hasn't appeared much for us. He almost had a £30 million move away. And realistically, it was probably a good idea to sell him. But he's a good leader in the camp, and I'm not disrupting anything like that at this point. And that kind of shows the idea that we're going with this year. We've got money. We don't need to make more. The idea is just to keep this squad as happy as possible, because we know that these players can win as a Champions League if given a chance. We just need to get there and get to a final. So the Man City game, the next episode, is going to be a big one, because they are a very good side. Last time I checked, they were second in the Premier League by only a short distance. So they're one of the best sides in the world. We're going to have to do very well to get into a quarter-final, but if we can take Man City out early, we've got a very good chance this year in the Champions League. But we're about to concede against Paderborn. Are they gonna do something here? We're on the 80th minute. They've made it 3-2. They've looked dangerous in the last few minutes, and we haven't done much. So let's just bring on a few good players just to see the last few minutes out. So we'll bring on Nico as well, just to give us some defensive cover in that midfield over Astra ranks. Fair play to Paderborn. They've given us a game. I'm not complaining too much, because overall we have dominated. Please don't tell me they're going to score. Lutz to Victor. It's been given away. Showermany looks like he's won it back though. I think we're okay. Okay, panic over. It doesn't look like it will be a Paderborn highlight. Here's Callum Hallard. It's a good ball in, headed away from Omaragic. What a fall from grace from him. Used to be one of the best centre-backs you could get. What a goal from Aurelian Showermany. What a finish that was. That was brilliant. He pulled that out of nothing, really, Tchouaméni. Goes to show the quality we've got in the squad. I know we were resting our first team, but just to have players like this chilling around. What a finish, right into the top right corner. Game over. Paderborn are going out of the cup. We are staying in it. And overall, it's been a good episode for us. Transfers working out nicely. The club firing on all cylinders. What is this, like 20 wins in a row now, probably? It's at least 3 months worth of consistent winning, not dropping any points anywhere. So it's very impressive the way we're playing. Are we going to add a 5th goal? Sesko almost gets his hat-trick. Callum Hallard has done a good job at right back today. We've got to be proud of him and the players that are coming out of the academy, with a golden generation on the way as well. Be interesting to see what comes out of that. But that is a great performance. Buzzing with that. Brilliant from all the boys all around. And that will be the end of today's episode, guys. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.